The last election, who did you vote for?
I feel embarrassed to tell you.
I want to talk about the people who voted for Trump, real geniuses, who convinced themselves that Trump would only go after the people they don't like, wouldn't go after them.
There's something wrong in this country telling people it is okay to work 3 jobs, not see your kids, not see your loved ones, not take a vacation, and God forbid you get sick. Okay?
This effing around and finding out the hard way is getting more interesting, and in today's episode we are going to be watching very interesting FAFO videos, and I do not want you to miss this. Watch from beginning to the end, and you're just going to enjoy every bit of it. So guys, welcome to today's video. If you're new to this space, kindly subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, leave your thoughts in the comment section. And to my new subscribers, thank you. You're welcome to this space. Keep watching and enjoying every video you've got on this channel, and let's dive right into the video.
The last election, who did you vote for?
I feel embarrassed to tell you. But before, all the years back, since I got my citizenship, I said I was a Democrat. But then, in these last elections, I voted as a Republican. Why? Because I'm against abortion.
I want to talk about the people who voted for Trump, real geniuses, who convinced themselves that Trump would only go after the people they don't like, wouldn't go after them. Like this guy with his lovely Peruvian wife. Cute couple, right? And I love the shirt. I'm a Wisconsin boy. I'll show you a picture of me with one of those shirts. Yeah, here I am 40 years ago with my baby daughter in that same shirt back when I had hair. Now let's get back to that story reported in the Milwaukee Journal. So this guy, Trump, is not going to come after me, marries this Peruvian girl living in Wisconsin 2 years ago. She takes care of his 12-year-old boy just like his boy is her son. They take a belated honeymoon to Puerto Rico. Come back and guess what? She gets detained by ICE. But Trump said he was only going to go after criminals, hardened gang members. No, they're going after anyone. ICE is going after anyone they can find. And it's not just Trump's ICE that's hitting Trump voters. It's his economic policy as well. The New York Times just did an analysis of what tariffs and counter tariffs are doing negatively to United States jobs. Guess which counties are most negatively impacted? Yeah, red counties. The geniuses who convinced themselves that Trump would only negatively impact the jobs of people they didn't like? Wrong. And I haven't even mentioned Doge yet. The people who are saying, yeah, Doge, they're going to go after DEI. I don't like those people. The nature of the federal workforce means that Doge is going after women. They're going after veterans. I personally know 4 people who've had to leave the federal workforce because of Doge. Guess who they are? 2 white men, 2 white women. People had this delusional idea that Trump loves me and he'll only go after the people that I hate. No, Trump only loves himself. I'll repeat that. Trump only loves himself. And he hates MAGA, he hates you, he hates me. He's going after everyone.
There's something wrong in this country telling people it is okay to work 3 jobs, not see your kids, not see your loved ones, not take a vacation, and God forbid you get sick. Okay? And I still got a job at home because I'm a mother. Because let's not forget, I don't get a day off. And I got to figure all that out. How are we going to eat? How are we going to pay rent? How are we going to pay the utility bills? That every single thing went up after COVID. Not one thing stayed the same except salaries. The only thing that stayed the same in this country is the minimum wage. Even though everything else went up. There is no scarcity. It is how do we pit people against each other so they're too distracted to see everything that I'm too addicted to consuming, and how much profit I'm making, and more profit, how many more houses one individual can have, how many yachts can one individual have, regardless of whether I am a female, male, whatever. I am a human being first. With what conscience are you criminalizing poverty?
Right.
And it's not going to stop just in the United States. The poor of the world, not just this country, are fed up. And let's not leave out rural communities. I live in Haines City, Polk County, Florida, okay? But do you think that the poor in rural communities have transportation? They don't. There's absolutely not even a sidewalk to walk on, because I am giving the message of stay poor, stay hidden, and die silently. Okay? If I get a job, how do I get to that job? If I even get it when I'm in a rural community.
Shame! Shame! That's why I do not understand why you would relegate this committee to no longer being of significance and resort to saying you will do whatever Elon Musk and Donald Trump tell you to do. Where's the independence of the committee? Where's the legislature? We're an equal branch of government, and yet when we look at the empty seats here, where's Elon Musk? I'm sure he's a genius and is a very credible person because of the wealth he's accumulated. But that does not put him above the law or the responsibility to come before this committee in this Congress. If he's so great, if these plans and all the fraud and abuse that he's found are so eminent, why isn't he here explaining it? You know why. Because he's out to privatize Social Security. He's been on television the last couple of days talking exactly about Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and what he intends to do. Privatize it. The American people, some of them may have been born at night, but not last night. People are aware of this. Every single one of your districts, in your district, ask that, Mr. Smith, of the more than 198,000 people in your district who rely on Social Security, and you won't even let the person who's planning to privatize it, who's telling the big lie in front of everyone, in bold as he possibly can, saying, this is what we're going to do. The Congress is in our back pocket. We don't even have to come before them and testify because we control the House, we control the Senate, and we control the presidency. That the executive branch does not have total authority over the legislature unless you have a willing party that says, no, we're going to do exactly what you tell us to do, Mr. Musk and Mr. President. It doesn't matter to our constituents. It doesn't matter how much money they are not going to receive. We're not even going to tell them the truth. Shame! Shame! Can't bring people in front of this body. If he's right, if they're so good, if they're so just, why aren't they here telling the American people about it?
Watching that video really broke my heart. I could feel the pain in this man's voice. You could see every part of him had pains all over it, and I can only imagine how other Americans are feeling with this whole thing happening. The American dream seems to be dying. People are here living and they are finding it difficult to achieve that American dreams. Things are very expensive now. People get jobs and they are underpaid. People go to schools and have all the certificates and yet they are underpaid. The jobs they are working, they are overqualified for the jobs. People cannot afford to pay their rent. People cannot afford to eat. Groceries are way super expensive. The tariff increase is affecting everything. I must tell you that America is not just it right now.
Dismantling Social Security. And even with reconciliation, we are not allowed to touch Social Security. I disagree. I disagree. I come from the ag community. I'm well aware of what kind of programs are out there. It's so bizarre to me how obsessed you are with federal government. But here's the thing. down. I'm sorry. Your hysteria.
A 2-hour drive outside the Cambodian capital Phnom Penh, a convoy of semi-trailers passed by.
Let's drive straight through.
Moments later, an enormous arch greeted us with signage in 2 languages, the local language Khmer and beneath Chinese. But it's very clear who is in charge of this special economic zone rising from the dirt.
Hello, sir. Hello?
The manager of this furniture factory invited us in.
Okay, thank you.
They moved here from China a month ago to produce ottomans to export to the United States.
Most of the companies coming here are Chinese.
Yes.
And their driving incentive to avoid US tariffs. The US-China trade war is the main reason for this explosion of Chinese investment in Cambodia. In 2016, before President Trump took office, Cambodian exports to the US were roughly $3 billion. Last year, they topped $12 billion, representing nearly 30% of the country's GDP. The Cambodian government says more than half of the factories in Cambodia are Chinese-owned.
To America.
Yes.
While Chinese companies are skirting US tariffs, economists we spoke to say they are playing by the rules. But there are fears Cambodia's economy could become collateral damage.
Are you concerned that President Trump might put tariffs on Cambodia, considering the Chinese investments?
Yes, of course.
Chinese garment factory owner Mr. Huang moved to Cambodia 20 years ago, capitalizing on tax breaks and lower wages while still running factories in China. But when the trade war began in 2018, he moved all operations to Cambodia and now exports 60% of his garments to the US.
And who are your customers?
It's Walmart, Costco.
And he said those orders have only multiplied since President Trump announced new tariffs.
You're lying! I'm a veteran and you don't give a fuck about me! Hey, shut the fuck up! You don't get the fuck up, you did to us! You don't get to take away our rights! You don't get to take our health! Get off of it! You don't get to do this to us! Fuck you!
I deeply value the contributions that
Just to be clear,
make
bullshit, and you're not
every day.
Let him speak! Let him speak!
Service. For example, folks at the National Weather Service are
The Department of Education is getting ready to make a dumb decision. They are planning to lay off up to 50% of staff. And according to the mediocre men and women of MAGA, the Department of Education is the reason why they themselves see content online and get confused because they don't understand context, and why their kids struggle to read even when they try to sound it out. Now, something I've always seen is that people want to blame agencies because they lack accountability. And I think that's unfortunate.
The woman from one of the clips there said that she's embarrassed to talk about who she voted for. She's so ashamed to mention the name of the person she voted for. And according to her, she said she's actually a Democrat. But the reason why she didn't support Democrats in this last election was because she is against abortion. I wouldn't want to call that word in full. So that was the reason why she did not support Democrats, and she had to support Republicans because they are also against what she is against. And also for the white man married to a Peruvian woman, and they took their late honeymoon, and by the time they got back, the wife was detained. The last time I followed up with that news, I heard that woman is still in detention. So it's getting crazy. You have somebody that has got the Hispanic root, and you decided to go for this particular candidate knowing fully well everything is said is going to be doing when it comes into office that had to do with mass deportation. And right now, your beautiful wife is being detained and is being affected with this whole thing. Probably you were thinking you were not going to be affected. He said he was going to be coming for only criminals, but we all know this person. In the first administration, it was not just about criminals. Anybody was being picked, anybody was being detained, and it's the same thing that is happening right now. Economic policies are hitting everyone, tariffs is just on the increase, and the prices of things are super expensive. And if you think he loves you, of course you should know right now he doesn't love you. All he cares about is just himself. He cares about himself and the rich people that are going to be bringing money into the economy, and that is why the gold card is there, sold for $5 million. And the last time I checked, I heard they've sold over 1,000 of those cards and they've been able to raise billions of dollars. From one of those clips there where that congressman was expressing all the anger in him, you could see he was calling out Elon, and it's just, this guy was actually supposed to be in that meeting and he was not there. And I think that was one of the things that got him triggered. He was supposed to be there answering questions, defending the money you said you guys have been able to, discover from the frauds that have been happening from past administration. He wasn't there, and for me, I think that is so disrespectful. There are also news talking about wanting to privatize some government departments and the likes, and I heard the USPS is also one of them. Imagine USPS being privatized. I'm sure if you are a resident in the United States, you know what that means. Chinese companies are leaving China to go start their businesses, build up their businesses in Cambodia, just because they are trying to run away from this whole tariff thing. So the whole thing, the whole policies is just affecting everybody. Either you are residents here in the United States or not, it is hitting on everybody. United States is one state that everyone in the world is interested in the politics of United States. When you go to some other countries, they even understand the politics in United States compared to their own country. And when that Chinese man was asked who are his customers, he said Walmart and Costco. So a lot of these things we enjoy here in the United States, a lot of these things we use here in the United States are from countries like China, Mexico, Canada. So I just hope we are able to survive this whole thing happening. Farmlands are there drying up. Workers are afraid to come to work because they are scared of getting picked up by ICE. Construction workers are afraid. They are taking up other jobs that are probably indoor jobs, and they do not have to be out there. And also, mass layoffs are going on in different departments. The education department is there, aviation, IRS, the health department. We also have USAID and the likes. Everybody is just feeling the heat. So guys, how are you coping? How are you surviving? You can drop your thoughts in the comment section. How is this whole thing affecting you? Kindly drop your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. If you watch up to this point, it means you really enjoyed the video. Kindly do well by subscribing to the channel, like the video, share, leave your thoughts in the comment section, and we are going to see in the next one. Bye bye.